Hello, everybody. Buddy with Midland, Texas. Going to do a video today. This is kind of a hard and personal video, and it's about family betrayal. In my case here, it's about family betrayal where somebody tried to murder me in my home, and so I'll even say, it's as bad as it can get. And I have no explanations for it. I don't know if my family's been blackmailed, threatened, bribed. I don't know if they were making money off of me or if they tried to kill me. I just don't know. But here's what I do know. I named this, as you see, family betrayal. Here's a short read. The message below was copied and pasted from my last conversation with my cousin, Cathy Gartman Harris. She worked for Oxy and lived in Midland before I moved here, but she's from McCamey. Now she lives up by Comanche. And Oxy is a large oil company, international oil company. They would obviously have a big booth at the oil show, and very possibly Cathy knew about the underground parties going on here. Okay. Her son, Terry Stone, went to school here, and I found out a couple years after the murder attempt that he was living here half the time with an oilfield company. I wondered if Cathy and or Terry knew about the underground homes here, which are now believed to be connected with multiple murders, including a young girl at a 2010 oil show party and the suspected murder of Mike Lawhon, the last guy that owned this home. Mike died the week before the 2008 oil show started, with conflict and stories of where he died at. I believe he was killed here and taken to Fort Worth because of the oil show party starting in the backyard. It looks like one of those underground homes is located in my backyard. I even wondered if they had been down there or maybe were here when I was shot. I was told that a lot of people were. It's hard to explain how family can turn their backs on their loved ones who are victims of violent crimes, and this was a premeditated capital attempted murder that left me crippled for life. I was literally home and minding my own business when these would-be killers sneaked into my home with guns. I've lived under the threat of death every day since, with thousands of crimes committed against me. They've broken this home over and over and over again with death threat after death threat after death threat, trying to get me to move from my home. Back in 2012, when I was ambushed and shot with my phone lines cut, all I had was my word, but not much else, but not much evidence. Of course, I expected my family to believe that. That isn't the case anymore now that it's proven I wasn't shot with my gun. Proof of almost 50 other homeowners reporting people in the attic. And since I was ambushed and shot with burglar alarms going off in my attic, and multiple people documented saying that tunnels and underground homes are here, along with supporting evidence from Google Maps. I saved up disability money and paid to get the 11 police who were caught on camera staging the crime scene identified. That took 6 years, and all the while I was having death threats, repeated break-ins to my home, and people asking or ordering me to move while under threat. This isn't my word against their word. It's just lawlessness and cold-blooded murder. I told Cathy, that's my cousin, you've seen her in the picture, I really don't know which post that you're talking about. This is where I was writing her, okay? I don't know which post you're talking about, so you'll have to send me a link or screenshot on it before I could do that. Nobody can question my honesty and integrity. The facts are irrefutable. I'm a disabled, defenseless survivor of a premeditated murder attempt that is living under the threat of death while calling for these criminals to be arrested so justice can be served. And they're stopped from breaking into more homes and killing again. That is admirable and noble. That's what I was telling my cousin. I've done this while my own family turned their back on me when I've asked for their help. Picking up the phone and calling the FBI to get secret police identified was just too much to ask when I was living under the threat of death. But you don't know anything about the crimes committed against me. And I'm asking again, Your honesty and integrity is called into check, not mine. I didn't turn my back on family, and I sure didn't do that while they're living under the threat of death and asking for help. If you look up above, that was the conversation at the time, then you'll see that I asked for your help on March 25th, 2017, and you said, "We do not know what you're dealing with, real or imagined." You then repeatedly tried to talk me into moving from my home before saying that you would not help me. It's now clear this crime ring has been trying to terrorize me into selling my home and moving while under threat, but they don't want to pay my price. What they really want is to get away with murder, literally. They want me to limp off in fear and hope they don't find me and murder me before I'm going to do that. with triple proof showing that I wasn't shot with my gun 2 weeks after I reported a suspected tunnel to the DEA, and multiple people documented saying that tunnels underground homes are here, then we can be sure that they are here. My life mission is to clear my name so my grandkids don't grow up believing lies told about their papa who risked his life trying to save others. Much has changed since the last time I talked to you. I now know the names of the secret police, and I know that 5 of them were listed as being at or in my home, but not seen arriving on the camera. This told me they were under my home, and it was somebody under my home that shot me. They are the top suspects in the capital murder attempt, which makes them top suspects in the suspected murder of Mike Lawhon, the last homeowner, and the young girl at the 2010 oil show party. This is lawlessness. I also have triple proof showing that my x-rays were fake. They took the x-rays of a guy that's suspected of being shot 11 days before me and then put my name on them. This guy was missing his heel bone, so they took me into surgery and cut mine out, leaving me crippled for life. I was intentionally maimed, mutilated, and dismembered after crawling out on my hands and knees and surviving a murder attempt. Did you know why I didn't call for help? Because they cut my phone lines before shooting me. I'm supposed to be dead right now. Your cousin. You don't have to imagine anymore. I fully expect that justice will be served real soon. I've recently gotten some information I believe is a game changer. One last thing, I carried your picture in my wallet for many years, and I would show people and tell them that you were my favorite cousin. I don't do that anymore. If you have any questions on the irrefutable facts, I'll be glad to show you the evidence. Send me that link as I asked. And you know, I haven't talked to her since. Okay, this is the picture I carried in my wallet for years. Oh, this is my cousin that I love, my favorite cousin from McCamey, right? Yeah, the one turning her back on me. Okay, and here's, this was a conversation on Facebook, and I took a screenshot. I thought it was interesting, you know. And here's, so I was reading on his page, which was my page. Sounds like he needs to be taken seriously about this stuff. He definitely has proof backing up what he's saying. I definitely have proof. Okay, and they go on to say he is the 3rd person I've heard talk about the cousin. One of those people being a deputy in that area. You know, isn't that interesting? My cousin that used to live in Midland. Okay, here I'm going to go on to my next little section here. I first reported burglary in my home on November 9th, 2010, and a couple of weeks later, my friend from Midland, Shayna Keith, invited me to travel to Shreveport, Bossier City to go gambling for the Thanksgiving Day holiday. That was on the boats. I was happy to get out of town as these crimes had me concerned. I then reported my second burglary a couple of months later in January 2011, which was my first report to the police for people in the attic. A year later, I was ambushed and shot by somebody under my home with my phone lines cut and burglar alarms going off in the attic. Okay. A few years later, I see Shayna post this on her Facebook, and it's a picture of my cousin's son, Terry Stone, and Shayna at a local bar here. I didn't know that Shayna knew my family until I saw this, so it was a big surprise. This made me wonder if somebody had asked Shayna to get me out of town and away from my home that weekend, right after I first reported my first burglary. I thought about this yesterday when I posted the story about Haley Dunn being found by Curtis Lloyd 2 days after I wrote the Department of Justice and suggested they look in the underground homes here for her disappearance. That was on March 14, 2013. I have 124 mutual friends with Curtis, even though he don't live here. It looks like his parents live next door to a home where the owner was reporting people in the attic, and I wondered if there was a tunnel between those two homes. That's at 200505 Dartmouth. And what I'm saying here is that, you know, now there's 10 people documented saying Haley was killed over in Odessa, but her remains are found in Scurry County 2 days, you know, after I suggested somebody look in the underground homes here by Curtis Lloyd. Many people think that she was dug up and moved, and Curtis was chosen to go find her. And then we have all these mutual friends, okay? Those 124 mutual friends are the ones who seem to never share my fact-filled and interesting stories of crimes there in Midland, which seem to be a clue. And one of those mutual friends was Shayna Keith. Shayna is the one that asked me to go to Shreveport, Bossier City, but I didn't know that she was, longtime friends with my family. Okay. Does Shayna or Terry know about the underground homes? And if so, then they have evidence on capital crimes. Is this why my cousin Cathy turned her back on her own family and was so rude to me? Terry is Cathy's son. That's what I was saying here. These were the pictures that Shayna posted here. Okay, so that's my second cousin, Terry Stone, That's Cathy's son, Terry, and then Shayna, who I went to Shreveport, Bossier City with just a couple of weeks after reporting my first burglary here, And you can see where I wrote, I'm going, Terry's my second cousin. And Chandler Reese writes, Terry is my baby's daddy. And I said, and I've known him since he was a baby. These are the cousins. My 3 kids are pictured here too. And then that's what I was showing here. These are my 3 kids and Terry and these are the cousins, right? These are many of them people right there no longer talk to me, for no reason. Oh, we don't know anything, real or imagined. My cousin told me, we don't know what you're dealing with, real or imagined. To be honest, that pissed me off. It still pisses me off. Back when I was ambushed and shot with my phone lines cut, I didn't have the evidence that I do now. So this crime ring spread life-destroying lies about me, calling me crazy to cover up this violent crime that left me crippled. And I believe that is what my cousin was doing. My favorite cousin. Now there's proof showing that I wasn't shot with my gun, proof of many other homeowners reporting people in the attic, and multiple people documented saying that underground homes and tunnels are here. And so there is no question of real or imagined, but my family is still not on my side, and I'm up against cold-blooded killers who break into private homes and murder innocent people, and some of the most corrupt police in the history of the state of Texas. Anybody that reads this should be able to figure out that my cousin knows something about the premeditated capital murder attempt on my life. This was her message to me, okay? Buddy Wayne, I will always love you. Yes, the family is concerned, but none of them live with you. Therefore, we do not know what you're dealing with, real or imagined. You have a very high IQ. You're very intelligent. No one doubts. I believe you should move and remove yourself from all the stress and danger or perceived danger. Like a bullet, a bullet's not perceived danger. I do not know. I'm not there. If you would move, the family would see you're trying to improve your day-to-day life. Moving is the only thing that makes sense. Frank and Terry would not allow me to get involved in any stress. In 2004, I broke my neck, back, shoulder, clavicle, ended up in Meniere's disease, fibromyalgia, vestibular migraine. I'm finally in remission for most of this, but the stress is the trigger, so I have to avoid those trauma. You will always be my prayers. Love you, Cathy. That was from my cousin right there. She had married Frank. Frank's an oil man from Midland. Maybe Frank knows about underground homes here where they have oil show parties and rape and murder little girls and kill the homeowners above. Maybe we should ask them. Moving is what is best for the criminals that are rigging private homes with hidden access and then using that to steal from and kill the owners. But it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't provide justice. It doesn't clear my name. And it doesn't even make me safer. It's not homes that kill people, but people that do that. And they can follow you anywhere. I'm a threat to them as long as I'm alive because they failed to murder me when they sneaked into my home, cut my phone lines, and shot me. That's a capital crime which has no statute of limitations. There ain't no timeline on it. It's easy to see why people want me to move since there's an underground home in the backyard just like seen on Google Maps, and it was used for the oil show parties where a young girl was murdered at in 2010. There are 4 people died here, just like Aaron Packerhofer said. I was shot by somebody in my home, and police were under my home that night, just like it's proven by the timestamps on the police report and the security camera video. There's a group of doctors killing people for profit, just like the ex-wife said, and some of those doctors are faking x-rays and dismembering crime victims. This home will show that it is not just one home with people in the attic, but homes all over the country, as this is nationwide racketeering and organized crime. This home will show a historic public corruption problem going to the highest levels. Okay, here I'm going to show you the next message from Cathy here. Buddy Wayne, move from Midland. I have no way to know what's going on. You have to help yourself by removing from all this. I know you have researched, documented, talked to many people. All you gave sent me is evidence of that. But I cannot get involved or pray for your safety, peace, and life. Please move. Please do not send additional data research. I cannot do this, Cathy. Remember, I'm just asking them to pick up the phone. That's all. Just pick up the phone. Stand by your family that was almost murdered in his home. Cold-blooded killers broke into my home, cut my phone lines, listened to me scream for help, and waited for me to die. My family turned their back on me. I wonder what Granny Cleet would say if she knew that her grandson had been shot and left for dead inside his own home, and the other family members turned their back on him, pretending they don't know anything. The betrayal by family hurts worse than being crippled for life. This was a family reunion picture at Granny's house. There's Granny in the middle, Granny Cleet, and that's my granny, and that's Cathy's granny. Okay, and you see here's Jordan, my daughter. That's Cindy's son, and my other daughter Jennifer, and Alyssa. That's Cindy's. Here's a cousin's daughter here, and so you see all the family here. Let's see if I can pick up Cathy in there. She's in there somewhere. And here I am up here. There's Cindy. There's my dad, mom and dad, and you see them up here at the top. And so. Not all my family has turned their back on me. I talked to my youngest daughter and see my grandsons, that are over in Artesia. I had 2 other kids I hadn't talked to in several years, and no reason why. I mean, nothing, Here I'm a crippled survivor of murder attempt living under the threat of death, people breaking my home every single day, with lots of evidence. And for some mysterious reason, my family has chosen, on the side of evil, that's it is, the side of killers. I can't explain it. I don't know why. And like I said, maybe they've been threatened. Maybe they've been blackmailed. I just don't know. All I can do is pray for them. And I know if somebody tried to kill somebody in my family, they could bet that I'd have their back, because that's how I was raised. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.